Hello, dear student and friends. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, New Upgrade Biology. Today in this video, we are going to study about the Mendel's law of inheritance, which is the part of Mendelian genetics. In the previous video, Mendelian genetics part 1, we have read about the introduction to Mendelian genetics, Mendel's experiment, basis of heredity in pea plant, and the reason for selecting garden pea by the Mendel's for his experiment. Mendel's has formulated the following laws, like principle of unique character, principle of paired factor, law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. About these principles, we have to study in the two different parts through the two different videos. Now in this video, which is the second part of Mendelian genetics, we have to study about the two principles, principle of unit character and principle of paired factor. Let's start this video. Before starting, if you are new, then subscribe the channel and watch the video till the end so you will get deep knowledge. Let's start this video. Mendel's principle of inheritance. Here, the first principle we have to study is the principle of unit character. Second, we have to study principle of paired factor. Only these two principles we have to study in this video. First principle, principle of unit character. Principle of unit characters. In law of unit character, in this principle, Mendel described that the unit characters are the factors of inheritance. According to Mendel को अनुसार के वो the unit character are the factors of inheritance. यहाँ unit character भनेको कोलाई बन्यो, factors लाई बन्यो. Factors are the unit character that determine the inheritance or that control the inheritance. These factors are now referred as genes. यही फ्याक्टर्सहरूलाई नै हामी के भन्यौं अहिले जीन भनेर सम्बोधन गर्छौं. These are called genes. These unit factors are responsible for the variation in inherited characteristics. भनेको जब इनहेरिटेन्स हुन्छ अनि अफस्प्रिङमा देखा पर्ने भेरिएसन को कारण पनि के हो, जीन नै हो, जसलाई हामी अहिले जीन भन्छौं. त्यही नै के हो, अकॉर्डिंग टू मेन्डल त्यो भनेको के हो, फ्याक्टर हो. फ्याक्टर ले गर्दा नै इनहेरिटेन्स हुन्छ र इनहेरिटेड क्यारेक्टरमा देखा पर्ने भेरिएसन पनि त्यो फ्याक्टरबाटै आउँछ. So factor, which is nowadays considered as genes, is responsible for the inheritance of hereditary characters, and in inherited characters there may be the variation. त्यहाँ variation पनि हुन सक्छ. Okay. त यी सबै कुरा हामी ल अफ युनिट क्यारेक्टरको माध्यमबाट सम्झिने गर्छौं। Mendel's further argued that these unit factors, genes, जसलाई हामी भन्छौं, exist in two sets or in a pair, where one set is inherited from each parent. यसको मिनिङ के भयो कि कुनै अर्गानिजममा हामी हेर्दा एउटा क्यारेक्टरको लागि a pair of gene, or that you can say the two set, जसलाई हामी पेयर भन्छौं, pair of factors are responsible for the inheritance of a character. एउटा क्यारेक्टरको इनहेरिटेन्सको लागि a pair of or a set of factors are required, and that factors के हुन्छ? One, they came from different parents, one from each parent. Like एउटा मेल पेरेन्ट भने अर्को फिमेल पेरेन्टको बाट ती दुईवटा चाहिँ सेट अफ जिनहरु अथवा ती दुईटा अनि सेट अफ फ्याक्टरहरु आएका हुन्छन्। Thus, for every biological trait भनेको यहाँ trait भनेको के हो? Character. जुनसुकै biological character को लागि there are two unit factors. दुईवटा unit factor को आवश्यकता पर्छ। In pairs, they should be in pair. That control the same trait. र त्यो ट्रेटलाई के गर्छ त? कन्ट्रोल गर्छ। Even they came from the different parents and they are in pair, so they control the same trait. This pair is now called as alleles. अहिले हामी हेर्दाखेरि यसलाई हामी एलिल भनेर पनि बुझ्छौं। For instance, like example, a pair of allele controlling a particular trait. In simple way, we can say that a pair of allele control a particular trait. भनेको a particular character is controlled by a pair of allele. Pair of allele, this is also known as genes, or these are also called the factors. A pair of alleles, which is also known as a pair of factors. So here the main concept what the Mendel has given, that is, the genes are required for the inheritance of hereditary character from one generation to another generation. The genes which are known as alleles nowadays, they were called as the factors at the time of Mendel. Mendel's called them factors. And not only one factor, a pair of factor is responsible to carry the hereditary characters from a pair of factor is required for the inheritance of a particular trait. It means that a single character is controlled by a pair of factor, or you can say a pair of gene, or nowadays you can say a pair of alleles. And that alleles, they came from the two different parents, one from each parent. They are in pair and they conduct the phenomena of inheritance of the same trait. For example, here you see this eye color. Eye color, this is one of the biological trait, and this must be controlled by a pair of factor or a pair of gene. Here one allele would code for blue eyes. Blue color of eye, which is the dominant character, it would be controlled by one allele and another allele for brown eyes. ब्राउन आइज को लागि फेरि के हुन्छ, अर्को चाहिँ जीन अथवा अर्को एलिल हुन्छ. Here you can symbolize allele code for blue eyes, suppose this is capital B, and allele code for brown eyes, it will be small b, okay. So these capital B and small b, these are the alleles, these are the factors that determines the inheritance of the trait, or you can say the eye color, which is a biological trait. So according to this, we have to understand that Mendel's focus on the factor, unit factor. A single allele is called a unit factor, and the alleles should be in the pair, which is known as the set of factor or pair of factor, which are responsible to carry the single character from one generation to another generation. Next, principle of paired factor. अब यहाँ हामी हेरौँ principle of paired factor. Law of paired factor states that the heredity of a character is controlled in a diploid organism by at least two alleles that occupy the corresponding loci in the set of homologous chromosomes. First of all, before this, in law of unit character, Mendel said that the unit character or the unit factor is required or responsible for the inheritance of hereditary character. And through this law, principle of paired factor, he got the conclusion and explained that a pair of factor, or you can say at least the two alleles, two factors, a pair of alleles, they should control the single character in a diploid organism or the inheritance, and that alleles where they are present in the corresponding loci. Loci means that it is the plural form of locus. So a pair of alleles that are present in the corresponding loci of the homologous chromosome, they are responsible for the heredity of a single character. कुनै पनि डिप्लॉयड अर्गेनिजममा हामी हेर्दाखेरि होमोलोगस क्रोमोजोम हुन्छ. होमोलोगस क्रोमोजोम जसमा एउटा क्रोमोजोम पैटर्नल साइडबाट र अर्को क्रोमोजोम मैटर्नल साइडको हुन्छ. अनि ती दुईटै होमोलोगस क्रोमोजोमको लोकस सेम हुन्छ र ती लोकस सेम लोकसमा त्यहाँ चाहिँ alternative form of gene are called alleles are present, and a pair of alleles, they are responsible to carry single hereditary character from one generation to another generation. भनेको मेन फोकस यो लाबाट यो लाको थ्रु मेन्डलले के गरेका छन् के कुनै पनि सिंगल क्यारेक्टर को इनहेरिटेन्स अथवा बायोलोजिकल ट्रेट को इनहेरिटेन्स a pair of alleles ले मात्रै गर्ने हो. A pair of alleles is required for the inheritance of a single biological trait. And where they are present, where the such pair of alleles are present, they are present at the corresponding loci in the set of homologous chromosomes. Homologous chromosomes, do you know what is called? The chromosomes which are morphologically similar and they have the same locus in which one came from paternal side and another came from maternal side. Now, this an individuals receive one allele. It is said that yes, कुनै पनि इन्डिभिजुअलले एउटा एलिल चाहिँ कहाँबाट एलिल्स for a trait from each parent भनेको कुनै एउटै प्यारेन्टबाट दुईवटै एलिल्सहरू कुनै चाहिँ इन्डिभिजुअलमा आउन्नन् र त्यसले फेरि के गर्छ जस्तै सपोज a pair of homologous क्रोमोजोममा दुईटै प्यारेन्ट्सबाट आएका जिनहरू छन् र ती जिनहरू फेरि के हुन्छ त जब उसकोबाट अथवा त्यो अर्गानिजमबाट अर्को जेनेरेसन बन्छ and passes one of the two alleles for a trait at random to each offspring. भनेको के गर्यो के भयो कि जब चाहिँ त्यसले त्यसबाट फेरि सन्तानहरू उत्पादन हुन्छन् त्यो डिप्लोइड अर्गानिजममा जसमा चाहिँ दुईटा एलिल्स फ्रम डिफरेन्ट प्यारेन्ट्स आए थिए अब उसले के गर्छ त ग्यामेट बनाउँदा फेरि त्यहाँ चाहिँ कुनै एउटा इन्डिभिजुअललाई दिन्छ एउटा अफस्प्रिङमा रेन्डमली कुन एलिल कसमा जाने भने इट इज नट फिक्स दैट मे पासेस randomly, okay, to each offspring. So an individual receives one allele for a trait from each parent and passes one of the two alleles for a trait at random to each offspring. प्रत्येक इन्डिभिजुअलले जुन दुईवटा एलिल्सहरू पाउँछन् ती एलिल्स कहाँबाट रिसिभ गरेको हुन्छ one from each parent र त्यसबाट फेरि अर्को जेनेरेसनको अफस्प्रिङमा ती दुईवटा एलिल्सहरू रेन्डमली जुनसुकै अफस्प्रिङमा जान सक्छन् र एउटा एलिल्स मात्र एउटा अफस्प्रिङमा जान्छ द टु एलिल्स फर अ ट्रेट आर सिमिलर यहाँ हेरौँ द टु एलिल्स फर अ ट्रेट आर सिमिलर in a homozygous. When the diploid organism is homozygous, त्यसमा के हुन्छ both alleles are similar for a trait. एउटा ट्रेट एउटा बायोलोजिकल क्यारेक्टरको लागि जब दुईटै चाहिँ एलिल्सहरू सेम हुन्छन् त त्यो अर्गानिजमलाई हामी के भन्छौं homozygous individuals like TT, this capital T and capital T in pure tall pea plant. जब हामी प्योर टल पी प्लान्ट को कुरा गर्छौं है त त्यहाँ चाहिँ के हुन्छ यो होमोजाइगस कन्डिसन देखाउँछ र होमोजाइगस कन्डिसनमा क्यापिटल टी दुईटै हुन्छ and are dissimilar in a heterozygous individuals like capital T and small t. है त हेटेरोजाइगस मा पेयर्ड फ्याक्टर अनुसार के देखियो के दुईवटा जीन्सहरू are दुईटा factor or a pair of factor is responsible for the inheritance of a single biological trait and that the two alleles they are received by an organism from the two different parents, one from each parent, and when they are passed to the another generation again one of them only can pass to one organism and that will be randomly. And if the organism have the similar factors, similar alleles, the organism will be considered as homozygous. And if the organism have the dissimilar genes, dissimilar factors, or the set of dissimilar alleles, then that organism will be considered as heterozygous. So heterozygous condition represent the presence of dissimilar genes, dissimilar alleles, whereas homozygous condition present the presence of that similar genes like capital T, small t, the capital T that represent the tallness, whereas small t represent the darkness. So the individuals having this like pair of factor are considered as the heterozygous individuals. This you can see capital T for pure tall, small t for this is also pure dark. It is dark but it is homozygous because it has the similar alleles. And this one, capital T, small t, it is hybrid tall, or you can say it is heterozygous. It is heterozygous. So by this way, in this video, we have read about the two principles of inheritance given by Mendel's. First, we have read principle of unit character, and second, principle of period factor. In the next video, we will study about law of dominance. So watch this video and get detailed knowledge about the two principles. Thank you.